Welcome back to Suladan Plays Dark Dreams, RHN. Last time, we managed to get past the three-headed horror. I think they called it a Minotaur? Yeah, that ain't no Minotaur I've ever seen. But I get where they're coming from. I'm just making jokes at this point, because it had the two things off to the side, kind of like horns. Anyway, let's jump down here and see what new horrors this game has. Keys? Keys and buttons? You know, I was concerned about my low health and low ammo, but now I'm just concerned. What? Where'd all my bullets? Oh, well, she said she was going to take all my bullets, and she wasn't joking, was she? Huh. I sleep. Please tell me this is just a puzzle boss and that I don't have to run. Oh, I've got full health, too. And a health station. A button. Do I have to find and push all the buttons to, like, unlock the cage? Because every time I find one, I've got to go backtrack. Like, sorry, you're only hearing half of that conversation. I'm puzzling. I'm figuring that this is more of a puzzly boss, and that I just need to push the buttons. And if this is the not the buttons part, but if it's the case that this is meant to be more of a puzzle, oh, I will be so much relieved, because I was really worried that my low ammo and low health was going to cause me to not be able to continue. Okay, so let's not waste any of the keys we have, because I don't know what they're going to be needed for. There's a health station up there. Really love the change in music. Love the background. Different blocks and stuff. A little bit of staticiness on some of them. And the weird I sleep message that's popping up everywhere, which makes me wonder, like, if she's been asleep this whole time, who have we been talking to? Well, the button has been pushed. Well, not that one. I'm assuming I gotta push all the buttons on one side, and I'm rambling at this point. And for those of you that might just now be joining us, I don't know how likely that is, but after I finish the game, I will be doing a full in-depth review of this game. Never really done that before. This game kind of needs it. It just seemed like a good game to do it on. I'm walking around pushing buttons. You'd think I'd be more excited by that prospect. And yeah, I know there's some up there. I'm just, well, I guess I should just go up there and start clucking. Did I push a button, or? I'm confused. I wasn't looking. Oh, I jumped and hit. I triggered it just by being in the air. I crossed over its collision box, I guess. Do buttons have collision boxes? I mean, I guess they have to. In so much as these seem to just activate when touched instead of you pushing them or doing anything. Wasted a key. I wasted a key. Everybody run. Okay, so there's a bullet stash, and it's hidden behind a white key door. Still can't push that one. Okay, well, we've got 8 keys left, and hopefully less than 8 locks. The reason I say less than is because I am sure to miss some. I'm fascinated thus far. This is a good thing. Oh, okay, I didn't know I could jump up through it. I thought I had to, like, bounce over it. Okay, so I can't get up there from my current vantage point. and push buttons. Not the one I was aiming for, but I'll take it. Okay, so those buttons have all been pushed. And I got 14 keys again, which is glorious. This is a very slow episode. This is kind of one of those points where the horizontal movement speed being slow is kind of glaring. And it's not necessarily that it is slow, more that it feels slow. There have been many games with many different combinations of things to account for this, but I will go in more detail into that in the review. I mean, I guess I can ramble about it now. I ain't got nothing else to ramble about. Basically, you'll notice that a lot of platformers over the years will of course have had varying movement speeds and movement styles for their characters. Some have had characters that actually were moving slow in a pixely way, like in the amount of screen space covered, but felt like they were moving fast either due to the camera zoom, due to the way the backgrounds move, due to their own animation feeling energetic. In this case, he feels very sluggish and marchy. Like he's just marching everywhere. And I get that, you know, he's kind of a knight, so him marching around kind of feels knightish, I guess, but from a gameplay stance, it doesn't help his case when he's already slow. Sorry, I got distracted by where I was going. The amount of horizontal ground that he can cover is just a pain, and the fact that throughout the entire game all of the pitfalls and traps are tuned to the same width just to be... It just... That very starting bit sounded like the title screen. Even in the very beginning of the game, in the tutorial, you have a feel for pretty much how the movement through the entire game is going to be. Right out of the gate, the traps and the spikes are all tuned to take up, 90+% of your jump. So that doesn't leave them any room for growth or a sense of progression. Most games would have the jumps and the traps and the pitfalls and the things that you're trying to dodge grow sequentially harder throughout the game, but it started already taking up most of your jump, so it doesn't exactly have a lot of room to go there. I'm sure it has to do with me pushing all the buttons, and that's somehow unlocking something. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna have to start jump cutting to when I find the button, because there's a lot of scattered, unpushed buttons. Okay, I've pushed all the buttons I know of. I mean, all the ones that will push. This path here has to be meaningful. Let's try the landmine. Nope. Okay, to my knowledge, I've established that I have pushed every button that is pushable. So now, the question is, to what end? It didn't seem to change anything, and there are still many buttons that just don't appear to be pushable. The one question is, am I supposed to be avoiding the buttons? Is it if I push too many of them, I lock myself out? Okay, that's kind of neat that I can stand there. So I'm going to try it again, but this time avoid all the buttons and see if maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. I will grant that if this is designed as a puzzle, me having to come at it multiple times is not so much of a problem because it's a puzzle. insofar as long as the puzzle is completable. It's one of the difficulties in balancing strictly puzzle games is that puzzle difficulty is very subjective, and what is clear to one person may not be clear to another. I'm just gonna go through with the, my next thought being, try pushing none of the buttons. It's also weird that you have to save every time you come through here. I don't know. Doesn't hurt anything, I suppose, just peculiar. So let's jump over all the buttons as if they were themselves traps and see if that has any beneficial effect. May as well pick up the keys while we're on the way! You know, watch, it's just like the door locks the moment you touch one button. That door is still closed. Okay, let's try the other one. That's still there. I mean, at least I got back those keys that I wasted. Now, what I will say is, if this comes down to there is a certain specific configuration of buttons that has to be pushed at the expense of all others, the game better be clear about it, because there's really no way to brute force test every single combination of button pushes that could be done. There's no reasonable way to push every possible combination. And of course, that would be obvious. Nobody would ever design something with that in with that sort of. The question of why I'm getting so many keys. One would think I pushed it. One would think that the keys would yeah, I know, at this point I'm just pushing buttons again. Oh, wait. No, it's not walking on them, it's jumping. Maybe. Let's try that. Maybe I had missed that. So I could have sworn a lot of them were triggering just by me walking across them, but perhaps that was an unintended thing. Let's push all the buttons on one side of the room. I'm hoping that pushing all the buttons on one side of the room opens the door on that side of the room, and then I can go through the door and see what's on the other side of the door. And that what's on the other side of the door will be helpful to me, and not a giant whale that wants to eat me. I've had enough of them. Them and their insatiable appetites. I ain't plankton, leave me be. Okay, well. Now you just gotta climb up here and push the buttons there. Boink. Oh, I was hoping to do it without having to bust that. Boink. 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 Oh, that's just spooky. You can't see it, but right when I jumped on the last button, the mouse cursor off elsewhere started doing the loading thing. And it was like, ooh, what have I done? Yeah, well, that's all these buttons. I guess I gotta push them all. That or I'm going to find some eldritch horror waiting on me. I'm paranoid now because of that loading. Oh, is it loading? Is it a coincidence? I recommend not stepping on the landmine, though. Push the buttons. Push all the buttons. At least I don't have to do it in some special secret order. Push the buttons. Oh, push the buttons. Such buttons. That was not what I was aiming for, but I will accept it. Not what I was aiming for, but... I'm gonna find out that those keys were incredibly important and that I used one too many. And then I'm just going to be sad. And then I'm gonna run out of buttons to push. Then I'm gonna sneeze. More buttons over here. Oh, that's a worrying sound. That bell. This game has conditioned me to associate that bell with enemies incoming. I'm gonna go over here first, just to stay up here and see if maybe that allows me access to the bullets now. It does! It has access to bullets! Princess. Oh, why are you giving me 90? Is 60 bullets the... Oh, no, some of those were rockets. I'm gonna be honest. If this turns into a boss fight that I have to die in a lot, I really hope it remembers that I pushed the buttons, because I don't want to go through that every single time. That's just a waste of... That would be a waste of time. Which would further make the slow walking a pain. I assume I need to shoot the floaty locky things. You know what? I'm gonna shoot the ones on this side first. They're harder to get to, and if shooting them awakens some eldritch horror, it's probably for the best that I start with the side that's harder to get to. I would tell him to climb, but he has no arms. There's a lot of character details that's just interesting but never explained. Like, what am I? Why do I have little back tendrils? And why does one of his legs have a little tendril coming out from behind his knee? Okay. Shoot the thing. Ah! Oh, princess. Oh, princess. Oh, wait, am I just supposed to keep shooting the box? Or am I supposed to not shoot the box? Okay. I'm gonna break all the things, and I'm gonna go way over here before I start shooting the box more, because I'm afraid if I break all the locks that it's just going to... tendrils are gonna sprout and it's gonna be a Minecraft ghast. Or the giant flying cube ship that looks a lot like a ghast from Fairy Tale. Forgot its name. It looks like a ghast, though. Oh, so well, I'm just gonna shoot you from the ground there, because I ain't walking around. Oh, is this why I have a health station? Because I'm just literally gonna stand here and use up all the bullets. I'm saving the rockets. I don't care what you tell me, I'm saving the rockets. It's kind of the same as before. Jump. just pushing both buttons at the same time. And then occasionally that happens. I'm gonna be one bullet short for football now. I'm probably gonna be a lot more than one bullet short. Because I shot all the things on the other side. This better be what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna hold off using the health station until my health is really low, because if I use it now, like if it puts me at 99 health, but it would have given me 10 more health if I waited, then it, like, because of the way it's tied in with my ammo, it's better that I be conservation-y about it. Oh, princess, you better wake up, because I have 15 rockets that I'm about to fire at you, and if that doesn't wake you up, nothing will. If I fire a rocket now, oh, I can pull that. Okay, plan B. What if I destroy all the locking mechanism things? You know, the 4 little doodads that are floating on each side. Because I am concerned about the possibility that, you know, shooting it is just not going to do anything for me. I'd like that to have been a full heal, but I will take 77 health. There's the possibility that the cube just has an inordinate amount of health and that every bullet I shoot at something else is a wasted bullet. Really? It's just off screen enough to not let me. Yeah, why not? Oh. 1 health left. Wait, maybe. Nope. Worth a shot. Do the bullets respawn? Can I have more bullets? Okay, the doors are still shut. Does it want me to shoot all the key blocks? I'm grasping at straws at this point. That's generally not a good sign when, in a puzzle, one has to begin grasping at straws. I'm gonna run out of keys before I run out of... Yep. This plan ain't working. Well, I got 0 of everything. I do see another option that I didn't try. I Due to the amount of time it takes to traverse the puzzle, it becomes tedious to test and try all these ideas. But one idea would be unlock the doors and then shoot the things and die on the landmine in front of her and see if that gets her attention. But then there's also the theory of shooting all 8 of the doodads and seeing if that helps. What if I die in front of her without having shot any of the doodads? What if I die in front of her having shot all of them? There's various combinations of ideas. I'm really wondering if the dying in front of it thing may have something to it, because that's kind of the last thing a player would think to try. There's red marks in front of it. And it would be poetic that, you know, I'm using the bullets to get my health down so that I can do that. And now I go over here, get all the bullets, stand over there, and just shoot them all. I'm gonna try using the maximum amount of ammo on the target. The last time I wasted a lot of bullets breaking each of the little floaty bits, but if I just pick one, pierce that, man, that's a good, 8-10 bullets saved compared to last time. And since I'm on this side anyway, I can stand here. Rocket, 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 rockets all the day long. There we go, that's 40 damage right there. And now we stand here and tap the button until things happen. Technically do this the short way and just go ahead and after I use up these bullets, jump onto the mine and see. But I want to try and use every bullet I can first. Oh, we're done with that phase, okay. I suspect that dying on that may do something, but we must try the other way. Because if that fails, then I have to come all the way here to do this again, but if I do it this way, I can test both ideas. Saves me time. It's also, again, more dramatic if I do it that way. For him to use everything he's got and then fail, as opposed to... I don't know. I'm running out of ideas, and that just seems like a possibility. Because the game... I think I've got enough health, as long as I don't step on the landmine. This has been a very weird episode. I mean, the puzzle balls concept is neat. It's just on such a large scale that the slow character movement becomes a problem. I'm not saying I should be able to quickly traverse the battlefield in like 2 seconds, but most of the time spent in this room is me staring at a screen and holding down the, left or right movement button. That's not interaction. Adding a bunch of spikes would further not be interaction. It's not about me having to jump. It's just, There's not a lot to do. It's so large. I would have made the room smaller. More compact. Maybe make the platform, maybe make it so that there's 3 platforms high instead of 2. And then, bring the room inward to compensate. Then you've got less left and right travel time and more active, hopping around and climbing. But that is just a thought. Well, an idea. Oh, Princess, are you awake yet? Or if you're not, I have more rockets. And I desire to meet you. Rocket. And now just fire all the bullets. If it leaves me with 11 health, so help me. Like, I then step on the landmine, it leaves me with 1 health left, and then that's what wakes her up, is seeing me having expended every bit of ammo and barely alive or something. Because the mine does 10 damage. Oh, hi. Keep surprising me. Are you made of meat or metal? You win. You win. Go now. The door is open. It's on the right side of the hall. But there's a door on the left side. But there's a door on the left side. And the right side. I'm going to the left one. I'm aware the map didn't show nothing to the left. I'm going to the left. And then I'm gonna find out that that's like, I'm gonna have to do all this over again, and each direction has a different thing. Nope. That door just doesn't... Why is that... I question why those doors are there, but... in world design, not every door has to go somewhere. Sometimes doors are just there to be part of an environment. Sometimes as gamers we forget that in games, and then a game reminds us. Or we try to go through a door that's locked in real life and people get mad. Or you set off alarms. Man, that sounded like a door shutting. It was like, oh, I'm sorry, you took too long. I'm going back to sleep. Bye. And when you say right hallway, do you mean the downstairs or the upstairs? The downstairs. Works for me. And this is where the true... Oh, never mind. It seems you are ready to leave, whoever you are. What about you, Princess? Are you free now? Idiot, I'm a ghost. Even if I want to imprison myself, I simply can't. And that's why I want it. But why? I still don't get it. If you are not imprisoned, you can't be saved. Isn't it so? Perhaps, but why do you want to be saved in the first place? Don't think hard about it. A personal fetish, something to dream about. It's a joke about all the princesses in games having to be saved, isn't it? Well, I mean, I guess in fairy tales too. Man, that's got some deep roots. Anyway, oh. So I did it? Yes, you did it. Congratulations. What now? Not much. You go right. In the next room, keep going right and never stop. And that's it. At some point, you'll see RHN logo and credits will roll. Will I awaken? You will. Can I return? Any night. Then I will. We'll meet again then. Bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Please, stop it. Farewell. Adieu. Oh, this game is weird. Interesting, but weird. I'm gonna be honest. I would almost give my stamp of, try and think how to put it. As difficult as some of the bosses have been, it was a great relief for the last boss there to be... Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm trying to monologue here. The last boss, if we're gonna call it a boss, I'm just gonna call it a boss, was quite a relief. It was nice to fall back into the puzzling aspect. Trust whatever that is. While I do feel there were some little quirks that could be, oh dear goodness, no. Some aspects that could be ironed out a little bit. I found it to be quite a nice relief and quite a fitting end to the game. Wants to eat me? Run faster, you goober! This is why I've been telling you to learn to run! No, don't kill me! Yeah, look, the RHN logo. Dark Dreams, RHN. And Theolo. So, Dark Dreams RHN is kind of an interesting creature. First, I want to say, I love the game. I really do. Arkhouse, I think you have so much potential. At the very least, your artistic skill, your ability to bring the sounds and visuals together to produce a truly unique and interesting world is always a delight. I recently found out you also made Ghost Dream, another game that I Let's Played. But I really think that you have made some amazing games. They're beautiful. The artistic skill and the worlds that you've crafted are glorious. I feel that where they fall short is on their mechanical level. For example, Ghost Dream, it's been a while, so I don't remember 100%, but I do remember that there was a number of times I had to look up guides because some of the puzzles required really pixel hunts, where where I needed to click was just so tiny and so obscure that it became hard to find. And that's something that a lot of point and clicks often struggle with, is it's either too easy or too hard, and then it's so subjective because every person will think through it differently. But I felt, sometimes it was obscure, but the game's world and characters were so interesting and varied. Likewise, in this game, the art style and the unique combination of genres that you've brought is glorious. I think that, well, firstly, I don't think it's a survival horror Metroidvania. I think what you've created is a survival horror platformer with some light Metroidvania aspects, but I'm not going to nitpick on that. I will probably bring it up in the review again next week just for, thoroughness, but, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's a very unique and interesting genre combination that I think has a lot of potential, especially with the world and art style that you bring. I just think that on a mechanical level... Ooh. It's time to awake now. This dream ends now. Ooh. Please, fulfill the dream with RHN again. It's easily accessible, very affordable, and advertisement free. RHN is your guide to the surreal, dreaming with you since 2048, all rights reserved. For more information, professional support, or free extras, contact RHN HQ via our bio servers, RHNZX modes 1 through 8. W Internet is not supported anymore. User verified Bionet client instead. I feel that where the game tends to falter is some of its mechanical things. The way the difficulty curvature works, the way the ammo health system works, the way your character moves, and the way it feels moving through environments. Next week I do intend to do a full, in-depth review covering the game's design, its mechanics and the things that I felt were a little rough there, and then an area by area kind of overview of my experience with the game and my thoughts on it. But long story short, I think that you have a wonderful concept here, Archaus. I think that with a bit of mechanical refurbishing, this game could be polished to reach much fuller potential, but in its current state, it is held back by your ability to get stuck, but that, I only really came up on that once with the second head of the whale, and I think that putting an ammo drop at the start of the room, and where there's one currently, would alleviate that. But some of the bosses' reliance on RNG can lead them to be frustrating in ways that I will, cover next week. Mainly the third head, but the game is beautiful. I really think you're onto something. Hopefully I don't come across as negative or, like criticizing, because I really do love this game. I just found parts of it to be frustrating. I should also probably say this game is on Game Jolt, and as always, there's a link in the description, and I would highly recommend it, with the disclaimer that there is some mechanical polish and stuff that it can be frustrating, but the game world is beautiful, glorious, and I recommend it on the merit of that. Alternatively, you could watch this, but, whatever. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and I will see you next time.